Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Vancouver. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Brian David Marshall, and we are underway. Donovan Hammond on the right-hand side of your screen playing against newly minted Hall of Famer William Huey Jensen.
Oh my God, we see a quicken.
Turn one quicken, the most feared play in Standard. This event is Standard. We're going to be here all weekend with you. We've got Randy Buehler on the list here, myself, Brian David Marshall, bringing you everything. And let's see what we have here, BDM. It looks like nothing on turn two except for a Guildgate here for Donovan.
And then an Azorius Charm for
yep, just going to cycle.
Jensen, who then Divinations. He's just draw.
It's funny, Divination is one of his signature cards of late. You know, he's...
And so you see that he's able to do Quicken Divination at the end of the turn.
Yeah, he has that ability. He can go off. All right,
going
here,
off before. But there's a little bit more substantial of a card advantage engine. I wonder if we're going to see a detention sphere here, and we do.
Yeah, that's a huge play there. I mean, you know, Huey's got to feel like he's in a great position early with his opponent doing absolutely nothing while he gets a quick in divination and get through his deck to get to the right answers. But Underworld Connections could get Donovan back out of it, but Detention Sphere is going to take care of it. Although Donovan looks like he's got a nice follow-up play here with Pack Rat, and that's something that Huey's going to have to answer. But you know, Huey has 8 main deck answers to Pack Rat in his deck.
He does.
Yeah, so it's not the biggest problem for him to deal with Pack Rat.
Including the possibility of an instant speed Supreme Verdict.
That's true. Absolutely.
I don't know how many Quickens are in his deck.
Well, you know, I thought he was running one, but I see another in his hand, so he must have crept up more.
And he's just like stocking up on cards.
He is,
You see his second Divination he's cast. We see that he's got a Sphinx's Revelation.
Sphinx's Revelation. Mm-hmm. So he's got the long game nicely in hand here.
And this is not missing his land drops. Playing like this very kind of like old school blue-white control.
Yes.
Draw cards, don't miss any land drops.
Old school player playing an old school style here, even though Standard and Magic has changed quite a bit in that time frame. He's kind of daring Donovan at this point to activate that Pack Rat, and it looks like Donovan's going to decline that dare and just say, you take one.
Right. He's like,
and
you don't kill this, then maybe I'll do it at the end of your turn.
And Huey's just fist pumping at that. All right.
Oh.
All right, so end of turn. Abrupt Decay or Detention Sphere, get it on the swamp and draw a card. All right, so Donovan's looking to be in better position here. Now, Huey had the opportunity to syncopate that, chose not to. He wants to fire off that Revelation, we're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Well, he may be looking to quicken Supreme Verdict, depending on what Donovan does here.
Taking one.
I'll take one.
Come at me, bro, no problem.
Slap himself in the chest.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what Donovan wants to do. He's just going to ship the turn back. So Donovan's not in a hurry here. And that's got to please Huey infinitely, as he's certainly not in a hurry either.
Here comes another Detention Sphere.
Yeah, back on the Underworld Connections.
And again, not focusing on the rat. You know,
yeah.
a lot of people are going to Detention Sphere and just like snap that off right on the rat.
Yeah. But the old 2-2 for 1 and 1-1 for 2 in Standard is not going to get it done. And he's going to make a rat now, though, on end step. So Devour Flesh hits the bin, and that nets him a second rat. Huey's sitting on 4 mana now, and he's going to Thought Seize Huey. And Huey says, well, I got to dissolve that.
Is that maybe what we thought was the other Quicken?
We'll take a look. I'm pretty sure I saw an actual Quicken, but we'll double check. And Dissolve takes care of it. Donovan does have enough to make another rat here.
And he's going to.
He's going to pitch a Desecration Demon, and that's going to force the issue. That's going to say, all right, Huey, you're going to have to use a Verdict next turn. You can't. He's taking 6 this turn, and he's potentially going to be taking, 12 next turn. He can't do that. So, and there's the other Quicken. He does have it. He knew it was on top. Draws his card for the turn. It's another Sphinx's Revelation.
This is the demoralizing part of playing. Yeah, he even knows. He's just like, all right, these.
I mean, basically him making that third rat's just saying, you now, I'm going to make you do this. And he must have a sweet follow-up play here.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. It's another Thought Seize. So 2 Sphinx's Revelations. accompany a syncopate and a supreme verdict. And Donovan, this is just one of those tough spots, right? I mean, if he had one Sphinx's Revelation, you'd be pretty happy to take that away, but having the second one makes it kind of awkward. He's going to take syncopate away. And what is he going to clear the way for here? What is his play?
Does he have another underworld connections? He can start rebuilding his hand?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, if he had a land drop in an underworld connections this turn, that would be pretty sweet. But
he does,
oh, I see. He's got a Golgari charm. Yeah. So end step, hit your Golgari charm, or excuse me, Golgari charm your detention sphere. I like the main deck Golgari charm there.
Yeah.
And he's going to get the connections back and draw a card this turn. So Donovan's fighting the good fight, but what the real problem here are those Sphinx's Revelations.
He's got a Mutavault now. Here comes Desecration Demon.
Yeah, see, this is where things get ugly, right? End of turn, Sphinx's Revelation for 6. Nice Desecration Demon, right? It's like...
I get a free... You can attack me next turn. It's
sure.
free. Start chaining them together.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get the deck list over in the booth here shortly, and then we'll know, the win conditions for the blue-white list vary a lot. Huey tends to go as light as humanly possible with his.
You basically, I think this deck wins by boring its opponent to death.
Yeah. And the enabler for said boring is Elixir of Immortality.
See, which to me is one of the most exciting cards ever printed. That's my favorite card.
That's your favorite card, like from the core set?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I love that card. You never drafted that card, did you?
I hate that card.
I know.
I did play it, though.
Yeah.
My mono blue deck, it was actually correct, which I just still can't believe. But all right. Huey says, let's just get that guy out of here. He's going to go to his discard, ditch that annoying Azorius Guildgate. But as we see, Donovan Hammond... Oh, I see. So he kind of got him there a little. So Huey said discard, and he's like, yep. And that's past end step. You can't do anything after that. So Donovan wasn't able to draw a card there. And Donovan has a Scavenging Ooze here. And he's going to activate Mutavault and ship it in there. Now, Scavenging Ooze can get interesting here because he can start using it to take key spells out of Huey Jensen's graveyard so that Elixir of Immortality, which I'm assuming is in the main deck here, BDM, we'll get confirmation on that. But if it is, he can make it a little bit worse down the line potentially.
It is.
Okay. Does he have like an Elspeth or Aetherling or anything along those lines?
Elspeth is basically Elspeth and
Elixir?
Mutavaults are his win condition.
Okay, and he just has one Elspeth? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Huey really prefers to go as light as possible with the win conditions. A normal blue-white base control list, that maybe had red or black as well, will run 3 to 4 win conditions, and Huey's on 1.5.
So last breath in response to your Scavenging Ooze activation.
That's right. So he did, though. It still gets rid of one Supreme Verdict out of the yard, but pretty marginal effect here.
It's kind of a pain in the neck for Billy.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns Donovan's plan into a deck you plan. Or I'll watch you deck yourself. Because really, Huey doesn't have a lot of ways to just close out a game.
I have a hard time imagining that Donovan's going to be able to muster enough damage from here.
It's tough. It is tough. I mean, Donovan's got 2 active Mutavaults, which are going to go a long way, but Huey still has another Sphinx's Revelation in hand, and he can just draw basically his whole deck from here on out, and it's just going to be so tough for Donovan to overcome the life gain from that, and then eventually an Elixir of Immortality.
And don't forget the crushing onslaught of card advantage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's way behind on that.
He's like, all right, got you back to 10 for the second time this game.
Yeah. He's got a Ratchet Bomb now, though. Going to do a lot.
Oh, there's another Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, and he passes a turn, but he's left up his swamp. And here it goes. 9 cards and 9 life. So back up to 19. That is just insane. Huey Jensen finished second at Albuquerque with this list, losing a great final match to Marlon Gutierrez with his black-white list. So Huey completely at home and comfortable with this blue-white build. Look at all those cards. That is just insane.
This is an old school Magic player's dream, right? Like,
it is.
Like, oh, I don't even know which of these cards I'm going to discard at the end of my turn. I have so many cards.
Huey just went through the list again, or through his graveyard again to kind of see what's going on. He's going to start with the Jace Architect of Thought that is going to go up.
He's going to Detention Sphere a Scavenging Ooze here.
Or maybe even the
no,
Connections, yeah.
Yep.
All right, he does hit Connections, draw a card in response. Get that thing out of here.
Figures out his discards.
Goodness sakes.
Says, I don't need these four cards.
Yeah.
These extra lands.
After playing 2 spells this turn, it's just... All right, let's see what Donovan can do. I mean, this is the hard part. His deck is made to grind.
Yeah.
And when... Oh, it looks like he didn't quite discard enough there, so make it 5. You know, and the problem is, of course, that Huey's now resolved so many Sphinx's Revelations for such huge numbers that it's just Donovan can't keep up.
Sure, but he is going to be able to ooze away those Sphinx's Revelations and start maybe slowing down the recursion, but I don't see that making a big enough impact. Here's a Desecration Demon from Donovan. Look at the mana disparity, too.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, Huey literally hasn't missed a land drop this entire game. Donovan's deciding what he wants to attack with. He's going to send 1 at Jace and 1 at Huey, but they both also are going to be triggered. And this is the fun time for Huey, where he gets to start Azorius Charming his opponent's stuff just so that he blanks their draw steps over and over again. So the one that went at Jace gets Azorius Charmed, and Huey takes a grand total of 1 damage for the turn. And draw some more cards because, hey, that's what it does.
Oh,
and
there's the elixir.
There's the elixir.
So you just take the elixir pile here, I assume.
Absolutely, and Donovan knows that. He's just going to separate the two. I mean, the fact is that, you know, Huey has to find a way to close out the game at some point here.
Does he?
Well, he does. I mean, he's behind on cards, or library. Look, he's going to count it right now. Okay, so he can put it on the bottom and just use it for last.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll work too. He can go as long as he wants here. Only 2, maybe 3. All right.
Discard Divination.
Yeah. I feel like Huey just has a hammerlock from this point on. I don't really see any way that Donovan can get out of it.
Go to combat?
Sure.
Demon trigger?
Sure.
Attack you for 6.
And once again, you don't get a draw step.
Please do play your Scavenging.
Looks like it's going to be a zombie here. No, that's a Hero's Downfall on Jace. Sure. Just another 2-for-1 for Huey Jensen.
Counter the...
I think he's going to, yeah. He's going to syncopate it for 3 here. And that's going to exile it as well. And the turn gets shipped back over to Huey. Does a quick count here.
Is he just going to draw his deck?
Draw everything but 1 here. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to save that 1 elixir for his draw step for the turn. Yeah, it looks like he's got a couple of cards left there potentially. But oh yes, nothing like drawing your entire deck over the course of a game. This is so old. He's got the Mutavault. That's the factory. You know, it's just.
This is how to keep an idiot busy. That's what you know. It's like, you remember that old joke?
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you know, it'd be like turn this over, and then you turn it over, and it says how to keep an idiot busy, and then you turn it over. And
all right, so here it is. Elspeth, Sun's Champion, finally a powerful win condition here for Huey, who has set up this board such that he's got infinite counters in hand. He has his win condition. He's got a few turns to go off with it, and he should be able to close the door relatively quickly. We noticed that Donovan has never put a counter on his Ratchet Bomb. He's saved it so that he can take care of Elspeth tokens for when that time comes around.
She'll be back.
Yep. Yeah, we should have called that the first casting there of Elspeth, Sun's champion.
Underworld connection is targeting this one.
Dissolve on Underworld connections.
There you go.
Sorry, I have important blockers. I'm just thinking. Okay. So.
I gotta tell you,
That's 1, 2,
despite
3,
the fact
4,
that we've
5,
seen
6,
so many cards,
7, 8,
Billy plays his deck very quickly.
He sure does.
Ratchet Bomb, take 4.
All right, he's going to attack with everything, including his 2 Mutavaults. That's going to prompt Ratchet Bomb to get cracked. And Donovan is still taking 4 here, though. That's actually, that clock is going to catch up to him quite quickly. 3 more turns and he'll be gone if he doesn't change the board state. And here's Jace, Architect of Thought, and a plus. That way Huey doesn't kill himself too quickly. He knows exactly what his last, at least his top and bottom
he gets
card
to
is.
Elixir next turn if he wants to.
Thought sees you, dissolve the Thought sees, look again. I'm going to put that one on the bottom.
What's going through Donovan's mind here? Like, what's he
Pure misery?
Like, how does he, like, what plan can he come up with?
I mean, at this point, like, his plan is to try to deck Huey, but he just won't have that option.
Oh, there were plenty of cards still there, yeah.
Yeah, he's got, I think, 2 or 3 more after that, maybe. 4, it looks like.
Zuri's Charm, is that the Elixir? Yes.
That is the Elixir. Play Elixir. And immediately crack it? Yeah, crack it. There's only one.
We've now seen Billy has seen every single card in his deck
Yeah.
this game.
Now his deck has, like, almost no lands in it.
Yeah, there's like 6 lands that he discarded
He discarded lands.
in his embarrassment of riches phase. That's in the rule book.
Yeah. Huey plays Supreme Verdict, wiping the board away, and just ships it back. No attack with Mutavault here.
And meanwhile, Donovan's not even halfway through his deck.
Right. And Hero's Downfall. So Donovan just keeps hammering away on Huey's resources, but and Huey passes a turn back. Doesn't want to trade one of his Mutavaults.
Okay.
And there's, again, the same thing. We've seen this from the beginning. That's the 3rd time detention spheres have been destroyed. Getting back the same Underworld connections there. And the 2nd Mutavault here for Donovan. So 2 Mutavaults on either side.
This is rough. Say go.
For 13.
Wow. That's for 13. He goes up to 41 life. That's 10. 13 cards that Huey Jensen just drew. This is how you Sphinx's Revelation. He's doing a quick double count before he takes them into his hand. Those are drawn cards. If he drew one extra, that's one of the ways he could lose the game.
Right. Donovan's plan is to let him just draw as many cards as possible and hope he accidentally overdraws.
He just hopes that Huey can't count that high. Unfortunately for him, wasn't the case. And there's Detention Sphere yet again. Respond, draw a card, lose a life.
Play Elspeth
back?
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah.
Promptly make a bunch of tokens.
He's going to have to go long game on that thanks to the 2 Mutavaults from Donovan, but that is inevitability right there, as long as Elspeth stays alive.
Play a land, discard.
Yeah, let's filter out some more
Same.
lands.
Discard. Yep.
Now, those are all the ones he wants to keep that he's throwing down. And they're basically just all counters, right? I mean, that's the main thing, just having as many proper answers. He just discarded 2 Divinations and an Azorius Charm. He's like, I don't need anything else other than what I have in my hand.
Insane.
It is. I mean, is he going to draw his whole deck twice this game?
He certainly can.
Downfall Elspeth.
Downfall Elspeth? No, not this time. Dissolve that.
Mono black.
Huey's ready to shut the door on this game. And there's a Demon. Not a great matchup against Elspeth, unfortunately, for Donovan.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Jensen's just pretty happy to
Just plussing Elspeth, sitting here forever. He'll eventually fire the ultimate off, and then that'll be it. Donovan's all the way down to 9 years.
right, tap your guy.
He's just going to get in there right now. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of the Mutavolts can block and can eat that, so he's going to take 6. That's going to drop Donovan down to 4 and set it up.
Yeah, Desolation Demon's never gonna hit Huey here.
Yeah. And even if, honestly, Huey might as well just be like, sure.
Yeah.
He's at 41. Take a hit.
But he just doesn't want it hitting Elspeth.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 more tokens.
Really 2 of them.
Yeah.
One of them's going to get Desecration Demon immediately. And this should be game right here. Let's see. Unless, does Donovan actually have 2 cards in hand? No, he only has 1. So block, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still dead, though.
He can make 2 Mutavaults.
Oh, 2 Mutavaults.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, not dead at all.
Mutavaults on the soldiers, pack rats on
All right, so pack rats on Mutavaults, Mutavaults on soldiers. 2 soldiers survive there, though, right?
Well, I guess he's Supreme Verdicting.
Oh, he's Supreme Verdicting. Okay.
He was just saving some time.
All right, well, then we need to get those other soldiers up top out of there. There's an Owen hanging around.
Yeah.
He's gone. All right, there we go. So Huey says, I have a grip full of counters and an Elspeth that's about to ultimate, though it won't next turn. I'm fine with this. Yeah, there's Elspeth getting attacked by Mutavault. So a little bit of the turn of the tables, but the inevitability still seems pretty firmly in hand for Huey. Starts off by making 3 more soldiers.
He can just draw his deck next turn if he wants to.
Yeah.
I like Donovan. You gotta like Donovan's tenacity here.
I do. I love it. This is how I played. I look. Sometimes weird stuff happens. It's not often, right? Like if I'm in Donovan's seat, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm about 50-50. I think I've probably got about a 2%er here. Something goofy happens.
2% seems pretty generous.
But I would take it. Yeah, maybe not. I said if I was in his seat. You got to be hopeful.
Discard Divination, go.
And there we go. So William Huey Jensen takes an epic game 1 there from Donovan Hammond.
He basically goes through his library, virtually goes through it twice.
Yeah, he could have easily drawn it twice that game if he wanted. He drew all of it once.
25 minutes left in the round.
And this is it's a custom for Huey after game 1 to say how much time's left in the round.
Sure.
This serves 2 purposes. It's informational to him. It also hints to his opponent that took a while, and we're going to need to do it.
It's like
now,
I drew my whole deck twice, and we went very quickly.
Yeah, and both players played quickly too. So,
but it's in Donovan's best interest to play quickly at this point since he's down a game.
That's right.
Just you see in the background there, Jeff Cunningham on your left playing against Jeffrey Sue. Jeffrey won a Grand Prix trial last night.
Oh, okay. Do we know what he was playing? Or?
He was playing Naya. You can see his list on the text coverage.
Okay.
He was playing a Naya deck.
Quick update from the back table. Jeffrey Sue just raised his hand and told the judge, I have 8 cards in my hand. So that's awkward. Usually, if it's at the beginning of the game, that can be not a game loss, depending on the circumstances. So hopefully that'll happen.
Oh, so
Jeff Cunningham is from an era of Magic where if you had 8 cards in your hand, you actually had your left hand amputated. So he's probably, whatever the ruling is, he's probably looking, he's probably like, yeah, when I was a kid, walking to Magic tournaments uphill in the snow, we did things a little differently here, Judge. Is that what's happening? Is that what he's asking?
What he's actually asking is, he said, I made my decision whether to keep my hand was based on the fact that he had kept.
Oh, interesting.
So he's saying, like, look, I've already made a game action, so to speak.
Okay.
Sure.
Right.
The normal ruling here, we'll let the judge talk for a second.
So it's going to stay where you're still at 6. You'll go down to 6, and then at this point you'll each decide whether you're going to go down further than 6.
So no amputation.
Correct. Yeah. So he's going to.
The judge is still ruling on that.
Yeah. You're going to put 2 cards back.
All right, looks like he's spared him a limb, but his opponent Jeffrey's going to have to go down to 6
Right. You
here.
put the whole hand back.
And they're going to
Force
back
mulligan.
up to that point. Yeah,
Okay.
it's force mulligan, and then Jeff can see what he does.
Correct. And then at that point you're going to determine whether or not.
And that's fair. I mean, Jeff has a point. Because I think that Jeff Cunningham's on 6
Well, he
right
doesn't
now.
draw.
Okay.
We just put him at.
So he doesn't get to re-mulligan though, right? Like,
That's what he was asking. He does not seem happy about the ruling either.
I should have known that. Thank you, by the way. Yes, thank you.
so just looking at Twitter, what do you think about the idea that I know you don't like to scoop?
Right.
What do you think about the idea that Donovan Hammond should have scooped?
So it's a strategic thing, right? I think in general, like my approach is never concede. Like why, right? Like you're just giving up value.
Well,
But
the answer to
there
why
is an
right.
answer to that, right? And we're seeing it here potentially where if you think that you're very unlikely to win a game, and you're going to have a hard time winning the next 2 games within the allotted time, that's when you should scoop, and you should. And I think Donovan probably should have, like after the elixir of immortality is activated, like there's just no really conceivable way that Donovan can come out of that.
You've got 2 cards in hand, and your opponent has double his original life total plus 3, and is discarding 4 cards.
And it just discarded like 2 divinations. And it's just like, no, we're done here. And it could come back to bite him, because sometimes Donovan, he's going to be on the play here. He can go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Pack Rat, and potentially get out to a quick start.
Sure.
There's ways he can get ahead quickly, and if he has another grinder in the last game, it could be bad. All right, so we're underway here. Donovan has
Looks
led
like
off
he led with an underground
duel, yeah, and Overgrown Tomb, and then Hollowed Fountain there for Huey, and a Scavenging Ooze. Now we saw that earlier. Can be good, can be not good. It kind of depends.
That might actually be a Golgari Guildgate.
Okay.
Back for 2.
I believe you're correct. Green-black dual land. And there's the Scavenging Ooze battling in there for 2. Not a big threat at the moment. And Huey is representing an Azorius Charm and also a bunch of other things like Syncopate, that kind of stuff too.
Shock myself.
All right, so Donovan's going to take the damage here from his Overgrown Tomb. So let's see what he's doing. Yeah.
I think he's got, this is...
He's got a connection to get snap negated by Huey. Can't do it
He's thinking
fast
about
enough.
Syncopate there.
Yep,
but
he was.
It's sideboard negate.
He's thinking about Syncopate, and he's also setting up so he can draw a card this time. So I like that play a lot, especially because your life total against Huey's deck is that is your resource to use. He will not pressure your life total until way, 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 way later in the game, in which case you've probably lost already anyway. All right, Scavenging Ooze gets in there. Not much action here for Donovan besides that.
This is not the Pack Rat opening he was looking for.
No, and there's an Elixir of Immortality. Now the reason Huey's going to play that now is not because he wants to activate it immediately. All right, so it's because he wants to get it out of his hand so that it doesn't get stripped away by a hand removal spell. But interestingly, Donovan's going to play a pretty aggressive play here with Abrupt Decay on it and force Huey to use it right now, which is going to be for just gaining 5 life, about the minimum value you can get out of it.
He removed the negate with
with his ooze.
With his ooze.
Yeah. So I like it. He knows how important that card is. Unfortunately, it's going to still be floating around in Huey's deck, but Huey has to protect it, and now Huey's vulnerable with only 2 mana up, limits the counter spells he can have. We've already seen a negate out of there, so he has another negate, that's fine.
Get a Pack Rat.
All right. And this is where Donovan wants to start playing Duresses and Thoughtseizes and really just strip down Huey's hand, but doesn't seem to have any of that card. Huey content to play a land and say go. All right, make a rat.
Right, upgrade an Abrupt Decay into a rat.
Yep. Donovan draws, goes to combat. He's attacking for 6. No blocks have been declared, and Huey's taking it. So this is going to drop him down to 11. And there's a duress. Not too bad here. And that's an opportunity in hand for Huey.
Who passed him that?
He must have opened it. But I think he's going to have to dissolve here. He does. He dissolves. He thought about just firing off that opportunity and being like, "Look, you'll get the best one, but I have so many."
But he doesn't. He doesn't want to hit Elixir there.
No,
or maybe he doesn't care.
and I believe he has a Supreme Verdict in hand too. And I think he knows that this is a pretty good time to just fire that off. And if he does an opportunity into a second one, he could be in a pretty bad position. Verdict you. Uh-oh. Is this Golgari Charm? No. He's going to just remove the dissolve. Yeah, Golgari Charm would have been a pretty big issue, but I believe that Huey's got maybe a negate. No, I guess he doesn't. Huey's trying to decide if he wants to use up his charm, and he does. You can see how quickly he's playing. He draws a dissolve off of it. No board here for Donovan. And Huey just passes. I don't think he's got a revelation.
No board for Jensen either, but Jensen usually just
he's pretty comfortable.
Usually just lands, maybe the occasional planeswalker.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
There it is. Opportunity, target me. 1 land, and there's not a great draw. 3 lands and a Jace. He's going to instantly get rid of that Azorius Charm.
Cycles the Azorius Charm.
And he finds a Quicken and then another land. So this has not been a super action hand for him, but he is going to get to play a Planeswalker into an empty board. Always a good situation.
Oh boy.
Jace Memory Adept, and he's just going to draw a card, and there it is. He finally hit that Sphinx's Revelation.
Attempts a downfall Jace.
And Hero's Downfall hits Jace, and Huey accepts that immediately, telling me that he does actually have a dissolve in hand. So he's saving it for something else.
How about Scavenging Ooze? No?
Nope, that's not it either. All right.
It's been really educational watching the cards that Jensen wants to fight over.
Yes. Yeah, for you blue-white standard players at home, I mean, this is a clinic. This guy's the best with this deck in the business, so this is a great thing to watch.
What are the things that matter to him?
And Scavenging Ooze goes to town on the graveyard. Of course, not getting any bigger because there's no creatures in Huey's deck.
Yeah, you're going to have to remove your own creatures for that to matter.
Yep. And here it is, Sphinx's Revelation for 7. And, I mean, look, we're sitting here at home, but, like, that's game. I mean, like, we're done here, you know? I mean, it'll take some turns, but, like, once Huey gets to Revelation for 7 after casting opportunity,
go
it's
to 23,
just too much.
Untap, play a land, play a Planeswalker.
Right. And, I mean, Donovan is sitting there with grizzly bears on his side of the board. It's just, it's so brutal.
No Planeswalker here?
Now, the interesting thing, though, is that Donovan can keep working on the graveyard and try to set up that long game, but we've seen that Huey has a few other angles other than just the sort of elixir plan. Here's a Quicken.
He's going to Quicken Supreme Verdict here?
Yes.
Yes! Very exciting.
That is exactly what he's going to do. Got you. Verdict for your bear. But that thing really was doing work. I mean, look how many cards it exiled. Quite a few.
But how many of those are the cards that Jensen cares about in the long game?
Some of them. I mean, for sure, there was a Sphinx's Revelation, like his big draw spells, which also, of course, gain him life back.
Here's another Scavenging Ooze.
And it looks like Huey's pausing him there for a minute to see what he wants to do.
3 cards?
Ooze is fascinating in this matchup. Yeah, he has to dissolve it. He didn't before, but now he's like, look, I don't have that Verdict sitting in my hand. I'm going to get rid of that thing. Draw a card. So much velocity. We call that BDM, like when you get to keep drawing and manipulating.
You just get to keep touching your deck and just picking up cards, and just doesn't have to be drawing cards. Sometimes it's just selecting cards.
Huey plays the land and ships a turn back. I think he's got another opportunity he's ready to fire off. Well, here's a Thoughtseize, though. Might put a crimp in the plan.
He's like, okay.
He's like, all right, so he's got Divination, double Revelation, Supreme Verdict, Quicken, and a Last Breath. Yeah, so he's going to take one of the revs. it's no good news here for Donovan. Because this rev's going to be for what, 10, 9, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Too
8,
much.
9, yeah.
Last turn.
Rev for 9.
Yep.
25 to 16.
God.
You got lost.
Can you imagine sitting there at the table of BDM staring at Hall of Famer Huey Jensen as he says, I'll rev for 9. It's just like,
I would have rage quit this match
is
a long
not,
time
yeah,
ago.
yeah, you would be in a side draft.
So lucky.
Yeah. This guy runs so good. Nation. Keep things moving forward.
Yep.
Yeah, very much so. And
Scarred a bunch of lands.
that boy.
A bunch of lands. Look like an understatement, dude. Discarded like 6 lands there.
Discarded more lands than Donovan has in play.
Yeah.
Actually discarded an equivalent amount.
Yeah.
Here's an underground connection.
Underworld connections.
Underworld connections. Yeah, yeah,
Looks
yeah.
like that's going to get sniped off here by a syncopate.
Syncopate for 4.
Syncopate for 4.
He's like, I can exile cards too.
Mm-hmm.
Last turn.
End of turn, I'll play
Just,
Quicken.
he plays Quicken to cycle, but no threats for Donovan.
Yep.
And Divination.
Quickenation.
Quickenation.
Quicken Nation.
I like it.
That's my team.
There's a Jace for Huey.
Getcha.
Battle mode. Bring you down to 14.
And a Jace.
One of the 2 Jaces in Huey's hand. This one's going to tick upwards. He just wants to set up double down.
Last turn.
And Donovan ships the turn back. He does have an interesting card in his hand that's never going to resolve, but he's got Merciless Eviction in his hand, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Or, God, can he have that? He doesn't have white mana, does he? What is that card?
Discard.
Yep.
Is that a Vraska?
That one right there. Maybe it's just a full art swamp or something. Yeah, I definitely saw that wrong. But he did find a Mutavault here for the turn.
Hiya.
And Huey's going to offer the trade. No.
Yeah.
Not taking it. Not having it. Not doing it. Uh-oh. Jace is ticking upward and upward. Is he going to go for ultimate? No. He is not.
Interestingly, Jensen's just never fought over. You want to kill my planeswalker?
Yeah, I know.
Fine.
Because he's just like, I'll draw that
again,
again, right? Yeah. That is, I found that interesting too.
Pass turn.
Desecration Demon. Pass the turn, but
Thought about the Azorius Charm, but I'll save it.
again, the blanking draw steps portion of our presentation is going to be upon us. But right now, Huey has an Elspeth and a Jace in hand, like he's just got infinite options.
There we go, Supreme Verdict. Get that out of here.
Charm for regen.
Oh.
All right, there's an Golgari Charm to regenerate all of his creatures. Got to tap
Right,
that
tap it.
demon. Yeah.
Not that that matters that much.
No, because the Mutavault got tapped here.
Yeah. This sounds like Elspeth.
There's Elspeth.
You being a tap.
And he's just going to make tokens.
Yeah.
There's rarely a reason here to to minus Elspeth just to get rid of the Desecration Demon. There are some spots where it matters. You know, there's situations here where Donovan can play Ratchet Bomb, blow up the tokens and attack, but unfortunately for him, Huey's just sitting on Azorius Charm anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I guess that's one of the luxuries when you've drawn, 17,000 extra cards in your game.
Combat.
Tap your guy. It's going to get so big.
Yeah, 7/7, can't attack, can't block. Yet another Jace, Architect of Thought. He's got 3 Jaces in his hand.
It's like the holiday cube.
Yeah, it is. All right, he's going to get aggressive here with the mill. Milia for 10.
Aggro Jace.
Yeah, because I mean, look at that. He's got a perfect board state for it.
See a whip of Erebos.
Pithy, yeah.
He's like, you want to look? I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't care. And now all of a sudden, those tokens and that Azorius Charm are just going to hold off the demon and just allow Planeswalkers to go
There's
crazy.
Vraska the Unseen.
There is a
the
Vraska
Unresolved.
there. Yeah, unfortunately, Dissolve hits Vraska. Looks like it's going to stick around on the battlefield down there too. Maybe do some blocking, attacking. The Dissolve is still there.
Yeah.
There it goes.
I'm thinking 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Tick-tock.
He's not even attacking.
No. No, he's on the mill plan here.
He could do mill him and kill him.
I know you would.
Does he have an infect card? Can he go for the trifecta?
All right, so he was going to take a quick glance at the cards that got milled here, but in reality,
Yeah.
probably doesn't
It's
matter.
not even wasting time. It's like when you're on Magic Online and you're just clicking through your attack step to preserve clock.
That's right. Donovan's drawing cards before he's even untapping. I think he sees the writing on the wall a while ago here.
How does anyone ever test this deck on Magic Online?
The blue-white deck?
Yeah, the blue-white deck in a timed round.
The F6 is strong with this one.
He let him attack.
He let him attack because now he just wants to hit his
That's-
draw step, and
Oh my
Donovan
gosh.
extends the hand, meaning that after another normal day at the office for Huey Jensen, he picks up a 2-0.
Azorius Charmed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So we've got our secondary feature match there. Is it Jeffrey Sue?
It's Jeffrey Sue versus Jeff Cunningham,
So Jeff
better known
fight?
as Fedge.
Yeah,
to
what
the
is that?
Magic Online reading world.
FFEJ?
Yeah, that was like I guess that was
I've
his,
seen that.
That was like his online nickname. Here we get a look at the match. It's white-green. We got a Selesnya aggro on the right, played by Jeffrey Sue, and we've got Jeff Cunningham playing mono black.
All right.
Pack rats.
Not sure what tokens those are. They could be numerous things. They could be voice tokens. They
They could be Advent of the
worms.
Worm
Yeah.
tokens.
They could be 2 different tokens.
I got the button. Like that seems proper, right?
Jeffrey Sue using the time-honored tactic of trying to tilt your opponent by using white-bordered lands.
It's working for me. I was going to ask Rashad if we'd go to a different match once I saw them, but we'll stick here for now. No, they have a devoted following, white bordered lands.
Yeah, of course.
There's some people that really love them. I think we just saw a handshake there. It looks like Jeff Cunningham was victorious here. Yeah, I think Jeff won 2-0.
Okay.
Is that what we're seeing here, Rashad?
Yeah, we're getting a match result flip. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah, we got to come in, see some white bordered lands, and a sportsman-like handshake there to finish off as Jeff Cunningham
Wow, there
improves.
you look in the back.